Welcome to Ultra Uncovered, the podcast where we explore the untamed world of ultra running. I'm Corinne Shalvoy.
And I'm Russell Ditzworth. Together, we're peeling back the layers of iconic races, challenging terrains, and the incredible stories that fuel the passion for the sport.
Get ready to uncover the raw essence of ultra running with us. Welcome to the podcast.
Episode 1, here we go.
Yeah. Intro to episode 1. We want to tell you a little bit about what this show is going to be all about, why we decided to do it, and I guess who we are. So first and foremost, we decided to do this podcast out of the inspiration of building a library of sorts for all of the ultra runners out there who want to know what it's like to participate in some of the most iconic, most well-known, and also some of the just races around the country that have an awesome environment, atmosphere, and they offer some of the best trail running in the US. So our goal is to create some episodes about races that maybe we've participated in, our friends have, or that you've all heard of.
Absolutely. You know, this isn't going to be a race guide, and it's also not going to be a preview show, but it's going to dive into the what you need to know preparing for this race. So as an everyday runner, as an elite runner, this should give you some feedback into what the terrain is like, what you should expect on course, what kind of things are going to be out there for each one of these events.
Yep, exactly. It came from when I'm researching, thinking about, I might want to do this race one day. Well, it's one thing to watch a live stream. It's one thing to listen to podcasts about people's experience, mostly those at the front of the pack. You know, it's another thing to hear about some of these really in detail specifics and be able to assess what shoes am I going to wear, what gear am I going to bring, all of this that you mentioned, Russ. And then also to hear from, we're going to do this in 2 parts. The first half of the podcast is going to be really detailed about the race itself. And then the second half of the podcast is going to be talking with somebody who has firsthand experience running the race and them telling the story of what it was truly like on the ground for however many hours they were out there.
Absolutely. So, Corinne, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself to start here, and then I'll go after that.
Okay, perfect. So we're your hosts, as you heard. I am Corinne Shalvoy. I am a native of the beautiful San Juan Mountains of Colorado, grew up in Ouray, Colorado, where many of you probably know the iconic Hard Rock 100 is run, but among many other races down there now. So yeah, born and raised in Colorado in the mountains, and went to college up here in Denver at the University of Denver. I ran for their cross country team. And then I took a little bit of a hiatus from running. I ran recreationally, but ran a road marathon and then was just like, well, I'm just going to run a little bit because I still enjoy it. And after I had 2 kids, I decided I wanted to get a little more serious about it and get back into competing. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I started working with a coach and the amazing Megan Roach. And started competing and haven't turned back. We moved to Castle Rock, Colorado about 9 years ago. And that's how I met Russ. How did we meet, Russ?
We met over Strava.
Yes, we did.
Through yourself and Graham. And you guys had started kind of a small group of runners in Castle Rock Run Club. Woo. And really it grew fairly organically with early morning runs, weekend runs, and honestly, that connection through Strava was huge. It was a little bit of competition, but then it was like, hey, let's get together for a run. And that was probably in the 2016 time frame. So it's coming up on 6-7 years ago that happened.
Totally.
And I myself moved to Castle Rock almost 10 years ago. I have a wife and 3 kids here in Castle Rock. My kids are in grade school at the moment. And we've really made Castle Rock our home here, but Castle Rock Run Club has really made it a special place, a place that I see myself here for a long time now. And, I grew up in Arizona, came to school went to Colorado School of Mines. I'm an engineer about 20 years ago, and I've been in Colorado ever since. I still am a licensed practicing engineer, but I love ultra running, and I have devoted a lot of that energy that I was devoting to following sports teams now to following ultra running.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, that's a commonality between us. We're never at a loss for things to talk about on runs because we're both such huge fans of the sport, and we like to geek out on it just as much as, just as much as anybody. So, that's definitely something that's a big part of our friendship. And we thought, why not talk about it on a podcast?
Absolutely. Create the content that you want out there. And so that's some of what this is. And so hopefully it can be a guide for all of you as well.
Absolutely. Look forward to you listening. Thanks.